Hey, what's good, people? It's Yoshi. So, the last time I was at the range, I noticed there were some new shooters, and I was happy to see them. You know, it means they're exercising their Second Amendment, they just bought their first gun, they were taking the training seriously as well as their responsibility, and it's always nice to see. It feels like the community is growing, and I think that's what we all want. Um, but then I also remembered when I first started carrying, and the actual first shots I took at a range, you know, the nervousness, the unsure insecurity about drawing, carrying, magazine changing, even just putting, bullets in the ladder. Like I wasn't comfortable. And hypothetically speaking, if I was in public and something jumped off and I was in danger, the loved ones of or the people around me were in danger, I don't think I would have drawn, only because I felt like I would have hesitated. And so in a situation like that, I feel like the person needs to be confident in more than just one thing, in the way that they're thinking, how their day is going or month is, or the state of mind that they're in, their draw strokes. Does all 3 points apply to this situation where you can draw legally and use your self-defense weapon in self-defense? And the accuracy, because with only a few of those, it doesn't really work at all, because there could be a car driving by, someone walking behind. Life is not still like targets, and so there's a lot of factors that come into it. And if the person who is defensively carrying isn't at that point, or they're too new, they're too green, they just don't feel comfortable doing that, if it were me, I would remove myself from that area as fast as I could and called the authorities while I was doing it. Unless the person is at a certain point in their firearms lifetime, I should say, it needs to be thought out. I know you don't have much time to think about it, but the person needs to become aware. Can I hit the target? Will I hit the target? Do I feel comfortable shooting at a target that's a human? These aren't targets anymore. They're not bottles and cans and 2-liter sodas anymore. This is a living person who's doing something very bad to another person, and you want to help aid that person. But if some of the things aren't all in a line, that situation might become your worst nightmare, and you may go down for it, even though you had the intention of doing good and helping someone out. Sometimes we're not all capable at that moment to do what would be necessary to do that. And the other option would be get to safety, get on the horn with authorities, and try to make sure that you could witness if anything happened. You can give descriptions, whatever. But it's not always just because you own the firearm and you're carrying and you've gone to a few classes or to the range a handful of times, you put 300 bullets through your new firearm. It doesn't mean it is your obligation to get up and do it if there's an uncertainty of whether it can be accomplished in a way it would need to be. And also the rules that apply to it. If there's only one or two or 2 3/4 or not quite 3, then legally you could become responsible for even drawing your firearm. And if you discharge it, you could be even more liable for discharging a firearm without filling those boxes. And so just something to think about, just because I know there are new shooters and I love seeing them. I love seeing new shooters. People are enthusiastic about, a new firearm or the training or the gear or whatever it may be for that person. That's exciting to me to see, because that's what, I appreciate. That's what I would like to see more and more, rather than, I don't know, good-looking woman at Starbucks or whatever. And I would like to see people exercising their Second Amendment and being safe and responsible about it. But if it's not that, you're not at that point, you may want to think about escaping at a safe distance, calling the authorities, and making sure you make it home, whether in one piece or not incarcerated or not having to deal with lawyers, but you make it home in the same condition that you were when you left. So I do appreciate you if you followed through this whole video. If you liked, hit that thumbs up. If not, you can leave me a comment in the comment section of why you didn't like it. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I try to do weekly videos, if not multiple times a week, on topics that I feel sometimes need to be talked about or aren't talked about enough, or something that I just may think of that, or a fascination that has to do with self-defense carrying or owning a firearm or shooting firearms. Once again, this is Yoshi. I appreciate all of you. Have a good night. Be safe.